Hiring new employees is very exciting, but it comes with paperwork, payroll setup, and compliance details that need to be handled before the first paycheck goes out. A clean onboarding process helps your employees start with confidence and helps your business avoid messy payroll issues later. Today, we are walking through the key forms and information that you need when setting up a new employee. Hello, C-Squared Collective, and welcome back to our series, Payroll and Bloom, Grow Your Team with Confidence. Our goal is to help you build strong payroll systems from the ground up so that you can support your team, stay compliant, and avoid the common mistakes that cost business owners time and money. Now, we are accountants, not an HR firm, so think of this as your practical guide to what we see every day working with small businesses just like yours. Be sure to confirm details for your business with your state or local requirements, or speak to an HR representative for more specific guidance. If this is your first time joining us, welcome on in. Each episode is designed to stand out on its own and give you practical, actionable steps that you can implement right away. And if you'd like to dive in deeper, the full series is linked below in the description. As always, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments or reach out to us directly at connect@c2accounting.net. So grab your beverage. Today I simply have lavender coffee, and let's get started. Hiring your first employee, or even your fifth, is very exciting. One of the best things that you can do, though, is use the same checklist every time. That way you are not relying on memory, digging through old emails, or trying to rebuild the process with each new hire. Today we are walking through exactly what to collect from every new employee, in what order, and why. Let's start with the paperwork that you need to collect. First is the W-4. The W-4 is a federal form that your employee completes so that you know how much federal income tax to withhold from their paycheck. This is completed by the employee, not the employer. As the business owner, your job is to collect it, enter the information into payroll correctly, and store it securely. The W-4 should also be reviewed from time to time. A good reminder is at the beginning of the year or after some major life changes such as a marriage, divorce, having a child, or taking on a second job. Now, you do not need to give tax advice, but you can remind employees that keeping their W-4 updated helps their withholding stay more accurate. Now, depending on where your employee works, you may also need a state withholding form. Some states have their own withholding forms, while others may use the federal W-4. If you have employees in more than one state, this becomes very important. Next is the I-9. The I-9 verifies that your employee is legally authorized to work in the United States. This form now has very strict timing requirements. The employee must complete their section by the first day of work, and you need to complete the employer section within 3 business days of their start date. This is not something that you can put off or finish eventually. So make sure that this form is filled out completely, you sign it as the employer, you reviewed the required identification documents in person, and you keep the records stored securely and separately from the rest of the employee's file. You will also want direct deposit authorization if you plan to pay your employee by direct deposit. This usually includes the employee's bank name, routing number, account type, and written permission to deposit wages into that account. If your payroll system allows employees to enter the direct deposit information themselves, this can help reduce errors and keep banking information more secure. Next, be sure to collect emergency contact information. This may not affect payroll, but it belongs in the employee's file. If something happens at work, you want to know who should be contacted. And finally, if your business offers benefits, you may need some benefit enrollment or waiver forms. This could include health insurance, retirement plans, disability coverage, life insurance, or other benefits. Be clear about eligibility, deadlines, and whether employees need to enroll or decline coverage in writing. You should also collect handbook or policy acknowledgments. If applicable. If you have an employee handbook, be sure that the employee receives it and signs an acknowledgement. Now, remember, you don't need a 40-page handbook to hire your first employee, but a 1-page policy sheet is definitely better than nothing. Now, this may include timekeeping expectations, attendance or call-out procedures, vacation and holiday policies, sick pay or paid leave policies, workplace conduct, and confidentiality or technology rules. The main goal of this is very simple. Employees should know what to expect, and you should have written documentation that those expectations were shared. One more important piece of paperwork that you're going to want is the new hire information sheet, sometimes also called a summary or an offer letter. This is the document that captures the specifics of the job in writing, such as the pay rate, whether they're salary or hourly, exempt or non-exemption status, start date, job title, work location, scheduled hours, and any benefits or time off that they are eligible for. Both you and the employee should sign this. Now, this isn't usually a binding employment contract, as most U.S. employment is at will, but it does something very important. It gets you and the new employee on the same page in writing about the terms of the job. That avoids the most common source of disputes between small business owners and employees, which is the "I thought you said" conversation many months later. So be very clear about what you are offering your employee. This includes vacation, holidays, sick time, and other paid leave. Now, these areas can be highly state-specific. Some states or cities may have paid sick leave, paid family leave, or other state compliance requirements. If you have remote employees, pay attention to where they are actually working, because that location may affect payroll taxes and compliance rules. You also do need to document whether an employee is salary or hourly. Hourly employees are paid based on hours worked, so accurate time tracking is essential. Salary employees are paid a regular set amount each pay period. But this is where a lot of business owners get tripped up. Salary versus hourly is not the same thing as exempt versus non-exempt. Exempt and non-exemption status determines whether an employee is generally eligible for overtime. A non-exempt employee typically must be paid overtime when they are working over the applicable threshold. An exempt employee may not be eligible for overtime, but only if they meet very specific requirements. So do not assume that paying someone's salary automatically means that they're exempt from overtime. This mistake can lead to back pay claims, penalties, and lawsuits. If you are unsure about how a position should be classified, get guidance before setting up an employee in payroll. Now let's talk about organization. So your new employee paperwork should include all of these items: your federal Form W-4, your state Form W-4 if required, your Form I-9, your direct deposit authorization, emergency contact information, benefit forms if applicable, handbooks or policy acknowledgments, new hire information sheet or your offer letter, including the pay rate and start date, your job title, the salary or hourly status, exempt or non-exempt classifications, time off and leave details, or other state compliance requirements. Now, these records should be very organized, consistent, and secure. Employee files often include social security numbers, addresses, banking information, birth dates, and other sensitive details. So we want to make sure that you are limiting your access to other people who truly need it, and avoid storing records in unsecured folders or scattered email chains. Now, I will put a pause here. Your Form I-9s cannot be stored with the other employee information. The best practice is that you store all I-9s together in a single dedicated I-9 file. Now, QuickBooks Online Payroll can help you set up employee information, pay types, tax details, direct deposits, and employee access through QuickBooks Workforce. If you are a C-Squared client and need help thinking through what this can look like in QBO, reach out to us and we can send you a way to organize that process. We also have a later video in the series that is coming that will walk you through setting up employees in QuickBooks Online Payroll, more specifically. So be sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications on that. For today, the main thing to remember is this: do not wait until payroll day to gather employees and information. Build the process before you need it. When your forms, classification, policies, and payroll details are organized from the start, you are planting stronger roots for your team and your business. Now, new employee setup does not need to be overwhelming, but it does need to be intentional. Create a checklist, collect the right forms, confirm your state requirements, and keep employee records secure. So thank you so much for watching today. If you walked away with even one thing that you can act on today, that is exactly what we are here for. If this was helpful, give a like, drop a comment, and subscribe so that you don't miss what's coming next. And if you know another business owner who's been wrestling with payroll, be sure to send this their way. We all need somebody in our corner. Now, there's more where this came from, so check out the rest of the payroll series or browse our other videos to keep building financial systems that actually work for your business. Any questions? Drop them in the comments below or reach out to us directly at connect@c2accounting.net. Links to our website and other socials are in the description below. And we will see you in the next one. Don't forget, keep learning so that you can be rooted in wisdom and grow with care.